Hi, I'm Jane Adalisi, and I'm co-editor of the Clinical Practice of Educational Therapy.
And I'm Maxine Fixman, the other co-editor. Jane and I are here to talk a little bit about the first text for the field of educational therapy. I think it all began because Jane and I were both coordinating programs. Jane on the East Coast, I was on the West Coast coordinating program. And we were frustrated that there wasn't a text for this dynamic transformational field. And so one day I called Jane and I said, would you like to co-edit with me?
Well, I was thrilled that she asked me to do this because, of course, when you've been doing this kind of work most of your professional life, you keep thinking, as I do, I should be writing more about this, I should be learning more about it, it's so interdisciplinary, it's so multidisciplinary. And when I started my doctoral work, the first course, which I talked about in the book actually, was the interface of teaching and therapy. What a perfect fit. So I had done quite a bit of writing up to that point about that very approach to my work, which always bridged the field of education and psychology, and always looking at that therapeutic aspect that is so hard to define and distinguish for people who don't understand what that means, thinking of us as psychotherapists in some way, or do you just tutor? And we felt that there were so many things that we needed to define very carefully for people that had been really just very loosely defined prior to that.
Well, we started the book thinking that it would be primarily for training programs in ed therapy, and we realized that we really had a book that was so much more, that this book really not only defines the field of ed therapy, but makes a case for ed therapy, not just for educational therapists doing the work, but for training teachers all over the world. And so we're very excited now with the prospect of having this book used in universities throughout the country, and also as training for teacher preparation throughout the country and the world.
And my students in psychology are always asking me more about it. I explain to them that I'm an educational therapist, and this is really how I regard a person. I consider them. It's how I really conceptualize. It's how I analyze, and they're very taken with all of this and do want to know more. So I think that we're really working towards bridging these fields, these very important fields, in a way that maybe hasn't been articulated before. We've just taken it for granted. We've just taken it for granted that people are going to understand this, and they really don't. So I think that's what we're moving towards here in a more national and international way.